40 years old, you wake up, and for a second, just 1 second, everything feels normal. Then it hits you. The same alarm, the same commute, the same job you said was temporary 12 years ago. And somewhere between the mortgage payment and the credit card bill, you realize you never actually built anything. You just survived. That feeling, that quiet, stomach-dropping panic, that's not a midlife crisis. That's your future sending you a warning. And the terrifying part is, for millions of people, that warning never comes early enough. So let's talk about it now while you still have time. Right now, you're probably fine. Not great, not awful, fine. You make enough to pay your bills, treat yourself occasionally, maybe take one decent vacation a year. You scroll Instagram and see someone your age driving a car you can't afford, living in a house that doesn't seem real, and you tell yourself they probably got lucky or they're faking it. Sometimes that's true, but sometimes it isn't. And in the back of your mind, a tiny voice keeps asking the same question. What am I actually doing with my money? You silence it with Netflix, with takeout, with the next thing you buy to feel like life is moving forward, because buying things feels like progress, even when it isn't. Meanwhile, every month the paycheck comes in, and every month it disappears. Not to anything dramatic, just life. Rent, insurance, subscriptions you forgot you had, dinners, convenience, comfort. And the savings account still says the same thing it said 6 months ago. Here's what nobody shows you growing up. There are two versions of your financial life, and they both start from the same place: a normal job, a normal salary, normal problems. Version 1, you spend your 20s and 30s living up to your income. Every raise becomes a better apartment. Every bonus becomes a nicer car. Life feels good. You're not reckless, you're just living. But quietly, invisibly, wealth never accumulates. And at 55, you're still dependent on that paycheck, still one bad month away from real trouble. Version 2, same income, different choices. You start building just a little earlier. You buy assets instead of only buying experiences. You let money work while you sleep. And somewhere in your early 40s, not 70, not retirement age, 40, you wake up and realize you actually have options. You don't have to stay at the job. You don't have to fake being okay. You have breathing room, real breathing room. Same starting line, completely different finish. The gap between those two lives isn't talent. It isn't luck. It's one thing: what you understood about money and when. The reason most people end up in version 1 isn't stupidity. It's psychology. There's something called lifestyle inflation. Every time your income goes up, your spending goes up with it. You don't even notice it happening. You just start expecting more. Better food, better clothes, better everything. And before long, you need your salary just to maintain who you've become. The bigger problem, most people confuse earning money with having money. They're not the same. You can earn $150,000 a year and be completely broke, because money that flows in and immediately flows out doesn't build anything. Real wealth isn't what you earn, it's what you keep, and more importantly, what you deploy. There's also something called the consumption trap. Every single thing marketed to you, every ad, every influencer, every flash sale, is designed to convert your future into someone else's present. They make money the moment you spend yours, and because spending feels good instantly, your brain chooses it over saving every time, without even realizing it. We're all wired this way. That's not weakness, but awareness changes everything. Here's the mindset shift that actually moves the needle. Stop thinking of money as something you spend after you earn it. Start thinking of it as something you allocate, like a CEO making decisions, not a consumer reacting to desires. Every dollar that comes in has a job. Some goes to living, some goes to growing. The people who build wealth early don't earn more. They just decided at some point that a percentage of every paycheck belongs to their future self, not their landlord, not Amazon, not their car payment, their future. That decision, made consistently over time, is the entire game. Now let's talk about how that actually works. Simply, when you invest money into index funds, into real estate, into ownership of any kind, you're not just saving, you're putting your money to work. It earns returns. Those returns earn returns. And over time, through something called compound growth, the number starts moving on its own. Think of it like a snowball at the top of a hill. In the beginning, it barely moves. It looks small, almost pointless. But the further it rolls, the faster it grows. Not because you're pushing harder, but because momentum builds on itself. The uncomfortable truth about compounding is that it rewards people who start boring and early, not people who find hot stocks, not people who time the market, people who start small, stay consistent, and don't quit. Time is the ingredient most people trade away without knowing it. Every year you wait isn't just 1 year lost, it's 1 year of growth lost. 1 year of that snowball not rolling. And those early years, the ones in your 20s and 30s, those are the most powerful years in the equation. The other piece is this: buying assets versus buying liabilities. An asset puts money in your pocket over time. A liability takes it out. That car that costs you $700 a month? Liability. Stocks that pay dividends? Asset. Real estate that generates rent? Asset. A subscription box that arrives monthly and gets tossed? Liability. You don't have to be extreme. You don't have to give up everything you enjoy. You just need to make sure that over time, your assets grow larger than your liabilities. That's it. That's the whole game. But let's go somewhere uncomfortable for a moment. Imagine it's 23 years from now. You're 63. Your back hurts more than you admit. Your job has changed 3 times, not by choice. And you open your banking app the same way you do every month, that low-grade anxiety sitting in your chest, and you realize nothing has really changed. You still need the paycheck. You still can't afford to stop. That vacation you always meant to take? Still pending. That version of yourself with real freedom? Still theoretical. And the worst part isn't the money. It's the feeling. That slow, creeping understanding that the years went somewhere and you were too busy surviving to build anything that could have carried you. This is the life that quietly happens to people who meant to start, who planned to start, who always had a reason to wait just a little longer. The saddest words in personal finance aren't "I lost money." They're "I should have started earlier." Now let me show you the other side. Because financial independence isn't just a number, it's a feeling. It's a Tuesday morning where you wake up without an alarm, and the first thought you have isn't about work. It's just about the day, what you want to do with it, who you want to spend it with. It's the absence of that chest tightness you've normalized for so long you forgot it was there. It's saying no to a job, an opportunity, or a relationship, not because you're reckless, but because you can. Because your financial foundation is solid enough to give you options. It's watching your kids grow up without the undercurrent of money stress poisoning every decision. It's a quietness, not boredom, not emptiness, just calm. A deep, earned calm that most people never let themselves feel. That's what's on the other side of the boring decisions, the consistent investments, the delayed gratification, the years of living slightly below what you could have spent. It wasn't about sacrifice. It was about choosing your future self over your present impulse, over and over again, until one day your future self wakes up and actually thanks you. You don't have to be rich to start. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to make one decision today that your 40-year-old self will either thank you for or regret. The clock doesn't pause while you think about it. Start anyway.